Hello and welcome. You're always very welcome here, my friend. It's good to see you. If this is your first time here, my name is Paul and I like to talk about my spiritual journey. I don't preach, I don't teach, that's not my job. I just like to tell you about my spiritual journey, and hopefully that might help you with the difficulties that you have on yours if you have difficulties. Now, it's been a year since I made my last video, and that's a long time. But lots happened since then. Life gets in the way and other things happen. And I must admit, I was getting a bit smug. I was quite comfortable in my spirituality and I felt quite at home. And I didn't think there was any more than I could teach. Oh, foolish, foolish me. Because things have suddenly changed. I never planned to be away this long. And now, if you like, the universe has brought me back because I've got quite a video to make today. I want to share why I want to come back with this video. Okay, so several months ago, I got a call from my doctor's surgery to say, would I have a blood test? Because there was some anomalies with the one that they'd had. So they did a blood test with me, and then I got a call back from the doctor to say, would I go in and see their GP? So before I go any further, I live in the UK where we have National Health Service, where everything is, all the services are free at point of delivery, so we don't have to worry about insurance and things like that. So I went along, saw the doctor. He told me that there were some discrepancies with my white blood cells, and it was quite concerning, and they wanted to find out more. So he investigated my body. He pushed and pulled me and shoved me around, and as they do. And he said he couldn't find anything wrong. So he asked me loads of questions about my health, about how I was feeling, and I said I feel absolutely fine. Yes, I go for long walks. Yes, I like to be out in nature. Yes, I eat healthily. I don't overindulge with junk food and what have you. So that all went very well. So he said to me that he would arrange for me to see a haematologist, which is obviously to do with blood. Hey, before the appointment with the haematologist, I became very, very, very ill. Very ill. I was shaking. I thought it was a UTI, which is a urinary tract infection, which means you have trouble when you try and urinate. And it was very, very painful. And I was shaking. I had fever. I didn't eat for 4 days. My wife called the 111 number and they put me on to, because the doctor's surgery is closed, because naturally it was a Saturday, and they put me onto some antibiotics for urinary tract infection. Well, after a few days, I started to feel a bit better. I was still suffering greatly with trying to urinate, but at least I was getting back to life and I was eating food again. And then my appointment with the haematologist came up. So I went to see the haematologist, very nice man, and we sat and chatted. And he explained that I had, because they'd done the tests on the blood, that I had CLL, which is chronic lymphocytic leukemia. The word leukemia, we all know that means cancer, don't we? I've got it. Yes, he says, you've got it. However, it's not a killing cancer. These little white cells that it creates, the cancerous little so-and-sos, don't actually cause any real damage, not sort of damage that's going to kill you, cancer. Phew. Well, as you know, if one in two people are due to get cancer by the end of their life, 1 in 2. So that's 50% chance of getting cancer. So if you're going to get one, get the one I got, which is not going to kill you. So I looked at the universe in my head, because I was with the haematologist. I looked up and I said, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Then we had some more talking, and he said that he was a little concerned that he wanted to send me for a CT scan, because they couldn't find out where these little white cell buggers had gone to. They weren't in my lymph nodes, they weren't in my kidneys, so where had they gone? So I suspected they must have gone to my prostate, because I was having so much trouble. Anyway, I went for a CT scan. I also had an ultrasound scan, and nothing was seen except on the CT scan. So again, I've gone back to see the haematologist, and on the CT scan it said that there was something abnormal with the right quadrant of my prostate. Yeah. So was it sinister? Well, he didn't know. So I asked him then, I said, how come I come to see you so quickly? My doctor referred me, and literally within 2 weeks, I was sitting in front of you with an appointment. And he told me then that he'd been looking at his calendar because he just had a cancellation and my name popped up from my doctor's surgery, so he slotted me in. Again, I looked at the universe and said, thank you, universe. Because I do believe that this is where I'm at with my life now. Anyway, so that was that. So the very next day after the blood test and everything, he phoned me up and he said, I'm really concerned. You seem to have a very high spike. And I said, well, this is this urinary tract infection I've got. He said, it's not a urinary tract infection. It's an infection in your prostate. And that's why we're concerned. So he prescribed me the correct antibiotics. And I went along to the chemist and got those. And as soon as I started taking those, I did feel better. Within a week, I had an appointment to go and see a urologist. And I mean, this is all happening so quickly. You know, if you're just thinking, if it had been normal NHS without the cancer diagnosis, the easy cancer diagnosis, I'd be waiting months and months and months. So I go along and see the urologist, and another very nice man. And the only problem is he tells me that he's going to have to do a physical exam, which means he puts his finger up my bottom, which isn't very pleasant, but you know, it has to be done. So I asked him, was it the right quadrant? And he said, no, actually, there's something wrong with the left. He said, which is quite concerning. So he said, so I'm going to book you in for an MRI scan and another ultrasound scan of your bladder and your kidneys, just to make 100% sure. Okay, so what you've got to remember is that people wait months and months and months for MRI scans, but here I was being told that I was going to have an MRI scan, and it was arranged for 7 o'clock on a Sunday night. So we can see that with emergencies, and I must be an emergency, they work out of hours. So I was really pleased with that. So along I went for my MRI scan. Obviously, they don't tell you anything after that, and that's where it does your whole body. The CT just seems to do a bit, but the MRI scan seems to do your whole body. And I spoke to the woman after she'd done it, and she said, well, we can't tell you anything. It has to be looked at by a professional radiologist, I think. You will get the results, okay. And then I went the next day, I was my ultrasound scan, and the radio, so that was easy done. That took 5 minutes, and the radiologist actually told me that there was nothing there. My kidneys were absolutely fine. My bladder looked absolutely perfect. So they would probably have to do a biopsy on my prostate. Yeah. So that was that. Then I get another phone call to say that I was being called in to do a biopsy on my prostate. Okay. So that was last week. I went along. I'm not going to go into the details. It's totally undignified. Legs in stirrups. I'm sure lots of ladies out there will go, oh yes, we know exactly where you're coming from. And it was quite painful. Not extremely painful, but quite painful. And I felt sore afterwards. But being Britain and being the NHS, afterwards it was all over. I had to go and sit and wait for half an hour to make sure that my body wasn't going to react to anything they'd done. And of course, you got a nice big mug of tea and 3 bourbons. There was a choice of bourbons or custard creams if you're British, so you know where I'm coming from. So that was that. It was all done. So obviously I'm waiting on the results for the biopsy. But this is the part I want to tell you about. So I came out of the hospital after the biopsy, and I walked across the road to go to the car park. And I walked in the door of the car park, and right in the very first car I saw inside the car park had the registration plate. Now, in Great Britain, our registration plates are 2 letters, 2 numbers, 3 letters. Many years ago, it would have been 1 letter, 3 numbers, 3 letters. Yeah. And people buy those as private plates because they like to do things with either the numbers, of course, or the letters for their names or whatever. Anyway, I've walked into the car park, and the car opposite me has got the 3 numbers 222. So I thought, yeah, universe, you've got my back. Wow. And I'm feeling good. I mean, yeah, I've had a biopsy. I'm expecting the results. It's likely to be cancer, but I know because the universe has got my back that it's going to be treatable. It's going to be, if it's cancer at all, it might not be cancer at all, but it doesn't matter. I know that I'm covered. So I go up to my car, get in my car, and I'm driving home, and I'm thinking of happy thoughts, and I'm thinking, yeah, this biopsy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm driving along a top road. We have a very top road, high road. And from there, you can look down over the whole of Portsmouth. It's a fantastic view. It's called Portsdown Hill. And the view is amazing. And I was driving along looking over there. And when I looked back in front of me, a car pulled out. And I should have been looking, of course. And I had to brake a bit hard. And the car had the registration numbers 333. Couldn't make it up. So I just felt really good then. And we carried on and we drove down the road. And I went home. And I pulled up onto my driveway, and there's a car park next to my house, outside the net house next door, and the registration number is 777. Well, if you Google these angel numbers, you'll see what they mean. It's incredible. That just made me smile even more. I went indoors, told my wife about the biopsy. She couldn't come, unfortunately. Then did everything else I had to do. Then she asked me if I'd go and do an errand, which I said, okay. So I went out, walked up to the shop that she asked me to go and pick some stuff up. And there was a car parked outside the shop with the registration number 999. Well, I don't know if you believe in synchronicities, but I do. That was the universe saying to me, we've got your back, Paul. Because my spirituality, I want to explain why I'm so confident, because I've been through the awakening. I'm quite a long way down the road. I know that my spark inside is my soul. Now, you might call it a guardian angel. I quite like that term, actually, because that's what it feels like, a guardian angel, somebody that's got your back. You might call it your soul. You might call it your spirit. You might call it your universe. It's inside you. It's inside me. It's a matter of finding it. And once you found it, you can be confident in life. You know that they've got your back. So, I don't know what to say really from this point. Where am I now? Well, I'm waiting for the biopsy result. The reason I'm not living in fear of the result is because, as I've told you, the universe has got my back. My guardian angel is looking after me. And if you're going through something similar and you haven't found your spiritual spark, it's there inside you. You've got to talk to it. You've got to. If you're a religious person, or you've been brought up in religion, then you have to be out there. Somebody has to tell you what to do. Somebody has to tell you where you go on a Sunday, or where you do this, or where you have to do that. And you have ceremonies. Well, I have ceremonies, but they're my own personal private ceremonies. And I do pet ceremonies because it's for me. It's for me inside of me. There isn't anything else. There's the universe. There's the power of the universe. And over the last year, I'm beginning to realize, and this is why it's all come to a head now with the biopsy. Over the last year, I've realized that it's inside me. I've been following all the teachers. So Jesus teaches us that the church is inside you. Buddha, the Tao, Mat, the Egyptian Mat, the Greek philosophers. It's all about it's inside you. So I'm trying to search for a way that I can find what's inside me. I'm trying to find a religion, if you like, that I can follow that's going to teach me that. And then, of course, the penny dropped. The penny dropped a couple of months ago. It's inside me. I don't have to find a religion to follow it. I don't have to become a Taoist. I don't have to become a Buddhist. I don't have to become any. It's inside me. It really is. Genuinely, I talk to my soul, and my soul talks to me. And no, I haven't got schizophrenia, and no, I'm not going mad. I could not be in a better place than I am now. So if you're going through something, look inside you. Look inside you. Find what's in there. Find out the love that's inside you, because it's all about love. Everything is about love. And yes, I live in the 3D. I have to go to work. Well, I don't have to go to work. I'm retired, but I have to do stuff. As the Buddhist monk said, chop wood, fetch water. Although you might be there in the highest highs of the 5D, you've still got to live. You've still got to feed yourself. You've still got to cook and provide food and everything. But you can be in the 5D. And when they talk about keep your vibrations high, it's more about being aware of where your vibrations are. So if something goes wrong and you feel, you just stop and you say to yourself, no, I'm not going to go down that road. I'm not going to talk. If you find yourself getting angry, or you find yourself getting really peed off with somebody, you stop and you think to yourself, no, I'm not going to go down that road. There's obviously a reason they're doing that. I can't walk in their shoes. I don't know why they're doing it. And that keeps you calmer. And if you're calmer, then you keep your vibrations higher. And it really, really works. I wish I could show you. I wish I could prove it to you that it really, really works. And well, okay, I think the reason I've been called back to make videos, and I have been called back to make videos, is because my spirit, my guardian angel, wants me to tell you that it's there. It's real. This is real. I'm not worried about the results. So that is a proof in a way, isn't it? That I've found spirituality, and that you can find it too. So from now on, if you want to know more about my journey have a look at some of my old videos. They're not great, but you know, they tell my story in a progression. Or stay with me now, subscribe, and hit the like button. And more importantly, I think actually, is if you comment, tell me your story. We're a very, very friendly community. If you go back and look at the comments I've received on older videos, you'll see that we're all very supportive of each other. And I think that's important, that we support each other and that we love each other. And I'm here for you. And you're here for me. And my spiritual guide is, what can I say? It's just the spark inside me. It's as simple as that. We're all connected up to the universe. We've all got a soul, and it's all connected to everybody else who's got a soul. But very few people are aware of their soul. Very few people are aware of it, and they go off down things, try and find gurus to tell them what to do. It's in you. That's why I'm here today, to tell you it's in you. All you got to do is find it. All you got to do is find it. Yeah, there's a lot to it. You have to do your shadow work. You have to work out why you were been the way you were. But where I am, it's worth it. And manifestation is not about being a millionaire. Manifestation is about being happy. Manifestation is about having what you need rather than what you would like or what you want. It's starting to rain now, so I think it's time for me to shut up and stop. And next time, I'll be talking about the results of my biopsy and showing you that everything's absolutely honky-dory and I'll be fine. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you. I look forward to chatting with you again. So like I say, hit the subscribe button if you want to hear more of my chatting. I hope I haven't bored you to tears. And if you, so yeah, like it, why not? And if you want to leave me a coffee, that'd be great too. I'm fine. Don't need any money. This is not America. I don't have to pay for my medications or my operations. Think how much that would have cost. A CT scan, an MRI scan, a physical, well, 3 physical examinations from 1 from a doctor and 2 from consultants, 3 ultrasounds. Yeah, wow. And here I am. It hasn't cost me a penny. Thank goodness for the NHS. Thank goodness for the health service. And I will see you again in my next one. And I know I'm going to have good news for you. I know I'm going to have good news for you. Oh, I love you all. I do love you. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.